Hey everyone, it's Mitzi, and it's a Facebook Live, and I have a special guest with me, Jim Defeo, one of my clients who is just totally awesome. And I'm going to turn my phone to silent, and here we go. Um, I started working with Jim or he started working with me back in February, and I'm going to just ask you what made you reach out to me.
Sure. Yeah, thanks, Mitzi. I had gotten to a point where I just wasn't happy with, number one, how my clothes were fitting. My energy levels were down. My gut didn't feel super great. So, my wife had gone through the program with you, had great success, and I said, I need to talk to Mitzi, and that's how we got connected.
I'm so glad that she suggested that you reach out and that you reached out. So when we started and we talked about some of your health goals. What were some of those goals?
Yeah, mainly it was I wanted my gut to feel better. Didn't want to rely on, just taking Tums and not feeling great. And like I said, my energy levels they were pretty down. And I had tried other programs before and fad diets and things like that, and just felt like they weren't working for me. And more than anything, when I was putting on my clothes every day and realizing that my waist size was going up, I just wasn't happy with myself. And I had that aha moment where it was like, listen, it's time to make a change. So that's why I'm so glad we got connected.
I am too. I am too, because when we did start talking, you were really talking about that, like you said, the clothes weren't feeling quite right. But I think mostly it was your energy. You kept focusing on your energy. The things that you were eating were not really serving you to help you with keeping your energy. And you've got young kids. I mean, they're not young like toddlers, but they're active. And you're an active person because you play golf. You play golf a lot, right?
Sure. Yeah, I do. No, I have a very active lifestyle. My kids keep me running around. I like to think that I'm a kid as well, and I like to keep up with them. And no, I was exhausted at times, and that wasn't good. So I definitely needed to make a change.
So we started working together in February, and what did you notice within a week or two?
Sure. And previously, before we started working together too, I was looking for a quick fix. I had tried keto, and I experienced the keto flu. It was no myth. And I was sitting at my computer some days, and I was falling asleep literally at the computer working. And so right away, I just noticed my energy levels skyrocketed, and that surprised me, to be perfectly honest with you. I didn't expect that. I loved the structure of the program, and that was super helpful to me. And, on top of that, the food tasted great, and you helped, kind of provide a plan for me early on that was easy for me to stick to. And I had great energy. Weight was melting off my body, by week 2. And more than anything, my gut felt great. And that was something that I had been trying to achieve for a very long time.
Well, I think when you first started, if I remember correctly, you were really concerned that you weren't going to be eating enough.
Right. Yeah, I had some anxiety thinking that I was going to be hungry all the time. And I was pleasantly surprised that I wasn't. I was astonished that I wasn't. But I was full. I felt well. I didn't feel like I needed to, shove snacks down my throat. And I had a nice balanced plan, which was great.
Well, I'm going to show what you look like before and just very currently. It's mostly your face, but you can definitely see a difference. And then I want to hear what you noticed. So there you are.
Yeah.
there you are. I think one of them was like in maybe December or January on the one on the left, the
That's
before.
right.
And then the one on the right, which is really current. I think that's just like a few weeks ago or so.
Yeah, that was actually end of April, beginning of May. And yeah, I mean, just a total, I'd like to say 180, but more like a 360. So you know, since then I've you know, winter's ended. I'm back on the golf course with my buddies, and a lot of them have just kind of said to me, like, what the heck happened to you? And you know, I've just said to them, listen, I, you know, decided to take the winter and take the spring and to kind of focus on my, you know, personal health and my energy levels. And you know, they've been impressed. And you know, I've just been impressed by the results of the program as well.
And you were able to, doing the program, go on vacation, weekends away, and still be able, and be with friends, and still be able to stay on track.
That's right. Yeah, I think what was so helpful is that, you know, you and I speak, you know, as often as we should to keep me on the right path, and we put together a great plan because I went away on 2 trips. I went away on a trip in March, and then I went away on a trip in April, and we had a great game plan going away. And when I went away, and I just made better choices, and I still enjoyed food that I enjoy. So it was a lot easier than I expected.
That is so good. And so now you've got the energy. And what are you doing, or why do you think you're continuing to stay? Because now you're not in weight loss anymore. You've gotten to your weight. You've gotten to your healthy weight. You actually got a few pounds below what you originally intended.
I did, yeah.
And you're staying at that weight. So tell us a little bit about that, because you're really right where you were, like probably you've been not on weight loss for maybe like 3 months or 3 or 4 months now.
Yeah, and I've been able to maintain. So, you know, I think one of the great things about the program and our conversations was kind of ramping up my calories and not just going from, you know, the 5 and 1 all of a sudden to like 2,500 calories. I kind of ramped up over, you know, 100 calories a week, and just yeah, while I have stayed very structured kind of at times with what I've eaten, I haven't ignored the foods that I love. I've just been, you know, better about like the amount that I consume, and you know, just making better choices. And frankly, like it's addictive when you get in, you know, when you feel better about yourself, when you like the way your clothes are fitting, when you're getting compliments. I mean, why would you want to go back to where you were? So that's something that's been an extremely great motivator to me.
That's awesome. And you didn't have like a lot of, you know, I put on, you know, my Facebook post a lot of before and afters, and many times the people are losing, like I lost 40 pounds. I lost 40 pounds in 4 months.
Sure.
A lot of people will be losing 30, 40, 50, 60 and more. And you see those before and afters. Yours was not that kind of a big, huge weight loss. You were doing it more for some weight loss, but more for health. And I think
sure, totally true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
totally true. I had multiple reasons for wanting to do what I did.
And staying where you are is great. Yeah, the way when you go, we got from weight loss into what we do a transition into to where you are, the optimization or maintenance. It's gradually getting your body to where it needs to be, your metabolism where it needs to be, so that you're not all of a sudden jarred into like this maintenance where you start to yo-yo because your body isn't ready for you to be eating it certain types of food. So and that's one of the magic, that's part of the magic, I believe, of this program. So you're golfing, your buddies are kind of like, what you doing? And you found that this program has sustainability. And I think that's really what's so important about anything anybody does, is the sustainability. So
yeah, absolutely.
So what final words of wisdom can you share?
You know what? I think that you know, people that decide that they want to, you know, change their lifestyle, change their health, you got to be committed to it. But the thing that I really enjoyed was kind of the structure early on of the program. And the one thing that helped me, and you were a great advocate of this, was drink a ton of water. I mean, I have consumed more water over the last, you know, few months than I ever have. And it's another reason why I think my energy levels have skyrocketed, why my gut feels a lot better, and why I feel fuller longer, and I'm not, you know, running to the cabinet to grab a bag of chips. So that's the one thing that I tell a lot of people, is that I'm probably hydrated for the first time in my life, where I was probably always dehydrated for an awfully long time. So when I play golf now, I drink a ton of water on the golf course. It helps me stay full, keeps me hydrated, keeps my head, you know, clear and not get any types of you know, headaches from dehydration. I can walk 18 holes of golf again and not feel like I just climbed Mount Everest, which is a huge accomplishment as far as I'm concerned. You know, my body's a lot lighter, so when I do walk the golf course, I'm not carrying as much weight. And most importantly, I wake up the next day and I feel good, as opposed to waking up the next day and not being able to get out of bed. So that's been a huge, you know, bonus in all of this. So I would say you got to be committed. Challenge yourself to drink more water, because it's not very difficult once you get started. And you know, find a great coach like Mitzi that'll help guide you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna turn off the live stream, and one sec. Maybe not. Well, why don't we say farewell, and then the live stream will stop. And thank you so much, Jim, for being here. And I will talk to you soon. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Take care.
Thank you, Missy. All right. Bye now.
Bye.